Boom, we get back home before noontime. We shoot the old rifle. Hey everybody, how you doing? Professor Rotundi is here again to talk more about Random of Shakespeare. I want to thank you as always for showing up today and tuning in, watching me deliver more information that may be relevant or irrelevant to you and your earballs. Shakespeare, however, is something we all can join hands and agree that we're all here for that. I can't help but think about what happened to me last night. For the first time in my life, I used Lyft. Oh, you may not know Lyft. Do you not know Lyft? I certainly didn't before last night. I was hanging out with a friend, having dinner, having some cocktails, and I wanted to get home to my hotel room, which was on Folsom and whatever. I think it was on that road. Could have been Embarcadero. Could have been Market Street. I said, hey buddy, it's time for me to go. I've had one too many drinks and I'm starting to call up all my ex-girlfriends. He's like, yeah, it's definitely time to go. I said, glad we could agree on that. I gotta go. And he's like, I know you do. Get out of here. Okay, where do I go? I don't know where I am. This is a weird place. Don't worry about it. Just type in your address in this program called Lyft. And I said, Lyft, what the hell is that? And he's like, Lyft, how do you not know what the hell that is? Hey, you living in 2016? Where the hell are you? I told him I live out in the suburbs down with my parents. They drive me around places. They're my personal chauffeurs. Hippie-hoo-ha! So we got to bring up a little bit more about Lyft. And he's got to explain it to me. And he says, hey, it's like calling a taxi right up to your front doorstep. I said, holy shit, times have changed. I remember when I was in New York City chasing after an ex-girlfriend. Taxis would show up right at my feet. And he said, this isn't New York City. This is San Francisco where things are a little bit sunnier. People smile. And hell, technology takes care of everything. I said, oh, just let the technology happen. Put it around my feet, why don't you? Spread it right there. Gladly, he says. And he opens up a Lyft app on his old telephone. He boots it right up. And he says, where you going? I say, I'm going to a hotel. It's a Marriott. It's right on Embarcadero or Market. And he says, bing! Done! Woo! I say, what? What are you so excited about? We're just still sitting here. I'm still wasted. Just sent a text message to another one of my ex-girlfriends, which I'm completely going to regret by morning. Because she's going to think that I have my life together, and then I was done sending her all these incessant messages. Saying to her, hey, honey, I'm glad, we're still in touch. What have you been up to? I'm in good old San Francisco, living a good life. Where are you? I'm married. I have 2 kids and a dog. My husband's a weightlifter. He's also a financial analyst. Do not come and see me. Whoa! So I said, get the Lyft here pretty quick before this all goes down. So I go out there, and I'm like, where the hell is the car that I need to get into to take me to the Marriott? And he's like, hey, it's the black Honda Accord. There I was. I walk right onto the sidewalk, and I open up the door. I get in the back seat, and the guy looks at me. And I say, take me away to the Marriott. And he looks right back at me. This is not a Lyft. I say, good for you. Take me away to the Marriott. That's where I need to go. And if you don't take me there quick, I'm going to send another message to another ex-girlfriend. I'm hammered. Get the hell out of my car. All right, I'm going. Just leave me alone. And I get out of the car, and then as soon as I get out, who's standing there but my friend? He goes, what the hell are you doing? I don't know. I was trying to get in a Honda Accord. He said it was a Honda Accord. I said, it's the Honda Accord with a pink mustache. Get it right, huh? Car with a big mustache. Where the hell it is? I don't know where it goes. Anyways, we got that all sorted out, and I got in the right car. And there was another person in there. And I said, who the hell are you? Whoa! And my friend, who was luckily still standing there to explain the situation, he said, I went with a Lyft line. Lyft line? That means that apparently you can share a ride to a location with somebody else who's going to a similar location. I looked at her. She wasn't bad. I knew we were going to have a good drive. So together we went. Me and her. And the driver, of course. Shooting off to outer space. Car smelled delicious. Smelled like all the Tic Tacs and deodorant in the world. And in the back seat he had candy and beverages. She, however, was on her phone, didn't seem interested at all in my presence. I said, honey, what gives? Didn't you just see that Prince Charming sat down in this seat? On today's Shakespeare, we have a passage from Macbeth. This is where Macbeth says, into the air, and what seemed corporal melted. Macbeth can't seem to stay mundane or somewhat make terms and communications with the people around him. No, his head's in the clouds, of course, as Macbeth's life should be. Macbeth is done slaughtering people for the time being. He's back being celebrated as the best king there ever was. Some guy who could slay a Minotaur's horse, chop him right up in half. Kid doesn't even shed a tear. Kid knows what's going on. He's into the air. For him, the world isn't enough. He needs more. He needs something intangible. Corporal, it seemed. What seemed corporal. So basically now, which corporal, which means flesh, which means the real, he's now mixing it with his delusions. Or he's having delusions that seem real. One or the other. Either way, Macbeth has lost his mind. And they melted. And they melted. Macbeth is like having an insane vision that is so bizarre that I cannot believe he was not locked up a long time ago. However, if you think about Macbeth's life for a few seconds, you think about what he just did, which is pretty much go to war and take down an entire army by himself, him and his sword and him and his shield. And he just slaughtered people for weeks, covered in blood, covered in slaughter. And now you want to just say, like, we're going to have a conversation with the guy? The dude has been in survival mode for the last 3 years. Or for however long that war lasted for. And people are confused at why this guy's losing his mind? For the rest of the play, you kind of have to look at the Macbeth character and say, hey, I can only take what he says with a grain of salt. And the unfortunate and the brilliance part of Shakespeare, it's not unfortunate, but it's unfortunate maybe for Macbeth, is that once you realize a character like this is so highly delusional, you have to take a look at what he says with a grain of salt. And the thing is, even with delusional people, and I have experience with this, internally, personally, and with the people around me, that when someone is highly delusional, they're going to say things that make sense, and they're going to say things that don't make sense. And the people around them don't know how to distinguish between the both. They don't know how to distinguish between the truth, and they don't know how to distinguish between the bullshit. Because a lot of times, it's hard to tell. In Macbeth's case, in this moment, in this passage, it isn't hard to tell. We know he's delusional in this moment. But however, as someone like myself who's read this play more than 550 times, knows that Macbeth is going to say a lot of things that are going to be borderline true. And we don't know if they're true or not. Because all we can do as outsiders is take it with a grain of salt. What can you do with people like this? Do you believe what they say? Do you question everything they say? Do you look at them strange? How do they feel? Now, if they're battling delusions, and they have people around them who are actually looking at them a little bit strange, you know what I mean? They're kind of like really looking down at them saying, hey! This is what Macbeth's in. He's in a strange situation where he's delusional. However, he's also got a lot of true things to say. And he thinks the whole world is caving in around him. And he's also got a lady friend who may not be helping the situation. These are the plunders and the big cabooses that Shakespeare puts people like me into. And now I welcome you to enjoy this complex spiderweb form of convolutions. Thank you again for listening in to my spiel, to my shtick, and certainly my rants. I'll see you next week, maybe even tomorrow, depending on when I do the next episode. Until then, enjoy your life. Get out there. Make somebody laugh, would ya? Come on! Definitely time to go. I said, glad we could agree on that. I gotta go. And he's like, I know you do. Yeah. And he's like, I know you do. Get out of San Francisco. Living a good life. Where are you? I'm married. I have 2 kids. I'm married. I have 2 kids and a dog.